Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Michelle Fondin and I'm the author of the new book, Heal Yourself, A Return to Wholeness, the Integration of Body, Mind, Soul, and Spirit. I'm also the author of Twin Flame Romance, The Journey to Unconditional Love. All of my books are available in paperback, Kindle, and Audible books. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for subscribing below. Click on that bell, scroll up to all for all notifications, and thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. I do readings, 30, 60, and 90-minute readings, twin flame, romance, life, path, and purpose. You can book that at my website, michellefondinauthor.com. I also have 2 Twin Flame Divine Feminine boot camps out there. It's an online self-directed course. You can start those on demand and the links are below. This is a reading to see where the Divine Masculine Twin Flame is at. Today is Friday, March 5th, 2021. And I say this is a special reading because I've been out of town. I've been in Walt Disney World for the past week. I didn't do a weekly reading as I usually do. Therefore, I figured that the pressing issue at hand is kind of seeing where Divine Masculine is at in this collective so that you guys who are out there, especially Divine Feminines, can get a better idea of the progress of the Divine Masculine, especially if you are in separation from your Divine Masculine Twin Flame, or if you're in an on-again, off-again relationship with your Divine Masculine Twin Flame, or it's just ambiguous. You're not really sure where Divine Masculine is at. So we're just gonna get an update, a read. I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. I'm going to pick from the Angel Tarot to see where Divine Masculine is at. I'm going to pick 3 cards from the Twin Flame deck. This is an oracle deck that I use in my personalized readings. In addition to that, I'm going to be getting 4 messages from the Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine using the decks that I use in my personal readings. If you are new to my channel, I always say a blessing over the reading to clear the air and to just center into the energies. Dear God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, Mother Mary, Archangels, Angels of God, Twin Flames, Guardian Angels, let this reading be of the highest light and love of God the Father. Let it bring light, love, and truth to everyone involved. Archangel Michael, please stand guard, casting away any lower energies with your sword of light. Romance angels, twin flame angels, please help us to understand where Divine Masculine is at this week, starting Friday, March 5th, 2021. If this reading does resonate with you, for you and your situation, then this reading is for you. If it does not resonate at all for you or your situation, then it's probably not for you. You need to remember that when a reader is reading for a collective, it's a very broad spectrum. And because it's a broad spectrum, it's sometimes hard to get very specific. And so what I always like to say to my viewers on YouTube is don't get freaked out if it doesn't apply to you, your situation, or you're finding it very abstract when it comes to you and your situation. Because of course there are other issues at hand, such as like where you guys are on your journey. So some of you are way at the beginning. Some of you have been on this twin flame journey for years. And some of you have been on the twin flame journey for just, a year. So it really does depend where you guys are, what work has been put forth, what work has been done. And like I said, if it applies to you, great. If it doesn't apply to you, okay. Let's see where Divine Masculine is at. And yeah, this is kind of what I was tuning into as far as the energies go for Divine Masculine this week. There are some issues with DMs this week. Now, I don't believe that it's because they're not doing the work. I believe it's because they are doing the work. Before, what was happening prior to Divine Masculine's spiritual awakening was that they were just clueless. They were living in their ego. They weren't doing the work. They weren't aware of the spiritual awakening as much. Some of them, a lot of DMs, came into this connection pretty spiritually awake, but the ego kind of superseded that spiritual awakening. So they operated a lot out of ego-based consciousness. So not really treating this as a sacred union, but really kind of working out of fear and anxiety and just kind of being too focused on the material world, the 3D world, and less focusing on the more spiritual aspects of the connection of the relationship. Now, there are a majority of divine masculines that are awakening spiritually, and because their focus now is on the spiritual awakening, they're experiencing a lot of anxiety surrounding that, because spiritual awakenings can be really scary if you don't know what it is. And if you are a divine feminine listening to this and you have been going through your own spiritual awakening, it can be really disconcerting because you don't know what is happening. You don't know what to expect. You don't know why you're experiencing certain signs and symptoms that can sometimes feel like you might be going crazy. And that, in fact, is what is happening to DMs in this collective this week. They feel like they're going crazy. They don't understand what's happening. There's a lot going on there where they might be feeling like clinical symptoms of anxiety or depression, and it's really bothering them, and they're not really sure what or who to turn to in order to get relief from this. Now, unfortunately, some of them will not tune into channels based on a spiritual connection like twin flames or soulmates, because they might think of it more as a clinical issue versus a spiritual issue. And it's going to be hard for some of them to navigate this, but rest assured, Spirit is not going to leave them high and dry and hanging. They will be guided in some way, shape, or form toward the fact that, yes, the symptoms that are happening is because this is a spiritual awakening, and yeah, they're not feeling too comfortable in some of these things that are happening. So the first card that came up was the 9 of Air, which is 9 of Swords in traditional tarot. This is the card of great worry. This is sleepless nights. This is insomnia, like anxiety through the roof, self-fulfilling prophecies where they might be saying like, I'm really fearful of this, I'm really anxious of this, I'm afraid this is going to happen or this is going to happen, and they fear it so much that those things actually do happen. So like, obviously the first step away from 9 of Air is to stop worrying and to just trust, have faith and trust, and step out of that box of the extreme worry. And we also got clearing karma, which I think in part the divine masculines are actually finishing up their karma clearing, which is required in order for them to move forward on their spiritual journey. Now, there may still be karma that needs to be cleared, but for the most part, they have been clearing this karma for a while. They are sorting it out. They're ready for the next step on their spiritual journey. And it's just going to require a lot of courage. Look, we got the lion, courage. It's going to require a lot of courage for them to move forward and to like recognize that they're not going crazy, to recognize that the anxiety is there for a reason, the fear is there for a reason, the insomnia is there for a reason, and that what they need to do instead is look for the messages on the inside of those symptoms. Looking for the message, they have to have the courage and strength to look for the messages inside of the suffering, looking for the messages inside of the anxiety, looking for the messages inside of the insomnia, looking for the messages inside of the depression, and saying, why is this happening? Versus just masking it with medicines or masking it with alcohol or masking it with like sleeping medications, but to really dive into it and go, there's a reason why this is exploding all of a sudden, and let me explore the why in it. So one of the reasons why they're experiencing so much anxiety is because of the increased telepathy between divine feminines and divine masculines. Again, telepathy, telepathic messaging from your twin flame can again make you feel like you're going crazy if you're not aware that this is a very common sign of twin flames, that the voice inside of your head that is your twin flame and vice versa is actually there to guide you, is there to help you, is there to move you forward on your spiritual journey, and ultimately to lead you toward reunion with your twin. But again, it can be jarring, scary. It can honestly make you feel nuts when you are hearing the voice of your twin flame inside of your head telling you things. And you know, it's not a normal thing that is talked about. In daily living, we don't generally talk about telepathy as being a normal thing. We really speak about things like telepathy as being more paranormal, or just being something that occasionally happens among, for example, biological twins. It is a normal part of the process, and divine masculines are going to have, again, the courage to recognize that it isn't scary, the courage to recognize that this is a gift. It's a gift that's being handed to them so that they can be better guided on their journey. Let's go ahead and pick 4 messages from Divine Masculine to the Divine Feminine for this week. So Divine Masculines, what is in your heart space for this week towards your Divine Feminines? Let's get this. Okay, and we're gonna pick 2 from this deck. Now, I really, really like these decks. It's from, well, this one flew out, so I guess we're gonna take that one. They're a really good messages, and then again, this one's flipping out, so I guess this is it. But please bear with these cards. I did not create them. It was created by someone on Etsy, but there are a lot of spelling errors, and being a writer, that's really unnerving to me. I'm gonna pick one more qualifier for this card, because every time I see this card, I don't necessarily understand what it means. So this is, I'm gonna pick something that's gonna qualify this. So angels, help us to qualify this message. Okay, got it. Okay, here's what I am seeing in the general messages. What I'm seeing is that Divine Masculine is being triggered a lot now. And that often happens, obviously it happens when you guys meet. It happens before separation, that you guys get triggered a lot. And in addition to that, oh joy, it happens also when Divine Masculine is going through their spiritual awakening and you guys are headed toward reunion. Why do triggers happen? And I'm gonna actually produce a video on that this week. But I'll give you a 1-minute explanation right now. Triggers happen to help you clear karma. And also, triggers happen because DM is trying to sort out old things like childhood wounds and such. So the first thing that says is, I see other people in you and I'm asking for some time to get myself together first. And then I want to qualify this also by adding something else that came out, was triggers happen, don't let it keep you down. Okay, here's why I say that these are all interrelated. I see other people in you is the reason why triggers are happening. Because if, for example, Divine Feminines, if Divine Masculine sees you and looks into your eyes and sees your behavioral patterns, and they are reminded of someone else, like a previous girlfriend, a previous boyfriend, a mother figure, a father figure, or a sibling that tended to push their buttons, when they are reminded of the things that you do, that you say, your behavior sometimes, and they get triggered, they are reminded that, oh my God, I remember that other relationship that reminds me so much of my twin flame, and it's triggering me, and I don't like it, and I don't understand it. And so if they're asking for some time to get themselves together, especially with this 9 of air energy, this anxiety, this depression, this insomnia they're experiencing, it's because they know they're being triggered. And so they're trying to sort out the reasons why I'm being triggered. You know, that's why they're like, why am I being triggered? I just need to figure this out. They still have so much affinity for you, twin flame. I have your picture saved on my phone. And I want to explain this. I am in a karmic relationship. Okay, now I want you, now listen carefully, because we also got clearing karma. I want you to know that if your twin flame divine masculine is indeed in a karmic relationship still, it's because they're still clearing their karma. A karmic relationship does not have to be a romantic or significant other relationship. Just know that. It can be a relationship with a mother, a father, or both, mother and father. It could be with a sister or a brother or a child even that they feel responsible for, and maybe there has been some toxic patterns with that child. The child could be an adult, the child could be a teenager. It does not have to be that they're in a karmic relationship with a romantic partner. I just want to let you know that a karmic relationship could just mean that I owe something to somebody, or somebody owes something to me from a past life, from a past pattern. And right now, I am working on sorting that out. So I need you guys to understand that, because a trigger that twin flame divine feminines often have is, my DM is in a karmic relationship, or my DM is dating so-and-so. And I just want you to know that like karmic relationships can come in all shapes and sizes. And all that it means is that there is a debt that needs to be repaid somehow. And so when you're clearing karma, it's that you're actually moving through and repaying those debts. So I would say, please be compassionate, loving, kind, and patient with your twin flame divine masculine this week. The beginnings of awakening are not a fun time. Them clearing karma is not a fun time. And so they're having a little bit of trouble this week, and especially with that voices in their head, you know, the telepathy, the voices in their head, and not understanding what is happening. So be gracious, be kind, be patient, focus on your own journey, divine feminines, and rest assured, I assure you that they're working through this. They're working through this. They're not staying in the same spot. They are working through this. So keep the faith this week, keep the faith, and I will see, and you will see, what the energies look like on Monday when we get back to our weekly readings. But thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to my channel below. Click on that bell, scroll up to all for all notifications. And thank you for giving the video a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing this video with other twin flames. And thank you so much for your support of my YouTube channel. You can buy a book or 2 or 3. You can also pledge your support on Patreon. www.patreon.com/Michelle S. Fondin, and I will see you in the next video.